Hello and welcome back to FootieFusion. My name is Abby, and on this week's episode of the podcast, I have been joined by Samantha Gough, the England Lionesses Captain of the blind football team. Now, since being named captain in 2022, Samantha has gone on to help raise awareness for blind football in a variety of different ways. Some of you may recognise her from her TikTok, as she most recently hit 46,000 followers over there. In this podcast episode, we discuss her condition, her childhood experiences, when she first discovered blind football, but most importantly, what she believes people can do to help raise awareness for the sport. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to FootieFusion. My name is Abby and I am joined here with Sam. Thank you for giving up your Thursday. It's a pleasure to have you on. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really excited to be on and to share my journey.
How was the Paralympics? I saw you were there the other week.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I really enjoyed being out in Paris to watch, the athletes really work so hard. They've been training for years to be on the world stage, and yeah, it was just incredible to share that with them and to be in the stands and to witness them getting their medals and working really hard. So yeah, Paris was just incredible. I was lucky enough to document it on my social media so that people could listen to it and follow along and really see what was going on out in Paris rather than just what's going on in the TV. So yeah, it was really good.
Right, starting off, can you tell me a little bit about your condition?
Yeah, so I have CVI, cerebral visual impairment, which means that my eyes will track things, follow things, make eye contact, just they work like normal eyes. But my visual pathways from my eyes to my brain don't work. And this was through trauma through my mum's pregnancy that left me with damage to the connecting pathways. So my eyes are really healthy. They make, as I said, they make eye contact. I also have to wear glasses for a condition called astigmatism, which means that I need to wear glasses to keep my eyes a certain shape. So even though I can't actually see through the visual pathways, I still have to wear glasses. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit about my eye condition. I have been like growing up, I was visually impaired and partially sighted, but over the years I just started to lose majority of my vision and was always kind of told that one day I could wake up like a light switch and it just be gone. And it kind of worked out like that over like a number of weeks, that it just started to get worse and worse, and now I'm just left with light and dark, light perception. I'm also got light sensitivity, so photophobia as well. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on, but I just try and make the most out of what I've got.
Yeah, that transition between where you said it can be like a light switch where it can go from good to bad. How did you, did I take it that happened as a kid?
So I was about 15 when I really noticed that it was starting to get worse. And yeah, it was over like a number of weeks. So about 2 weeks, I realized that, I wasn't able to see something a little bit clearer than I used to be able to see it. And for me, what stood out was I was on a sports camp and I wasn't able to see the color of a guide dog. So I think it was like a yellow golden retriever or something, but I just wasn't able to see the color of the dog. And from there, I realized that actually I'm starting to lose my colors here. I'm not able to see a large print anymore. Um, and that transition to using voiceover, which is how I use my phone, started to be really high demand on my phone. So I really had to use it a lot more than I thought I was going to be able to use it. And yeah, now I use it 24/7.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a journey, but I'm really grateful for where my life's taken me with sport and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you just got to make the most of what you've got.
Yeah, speaking of sports, did you get the opportunity to play many sports at school? And then how did the transition of losing your sight affect the journey of playing sports?
Yeah, so losing my vision was obviously one of the hardest things I've had to deal with. But growing up, my mum and dad really encouraged me to take part in sports, to be active. My dad used to play football, so I was always out and about kicking a ball, being around that kind of, you know, sporty side. So before I lost majority of my vision, which was in about high school, I was running cross country for the school, swimming for the school. Like I was looked upon as an athlete, so really, really loved sport, and sport was my way of expressing myself. But when I started to lose my vision in high school, or the main part of my vision in high school, I was looked upon as a hazard and was removed from PE in school. so I had to find sport out with. So with Scottish Disability Sport, which is I've worked a lot with them around, their Have a Go days that they do, and visual impairment awareness days and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really, really grateful for them. So they kind of signposted me in the direction of a sport called goalball, which I used to play, and went down to the Royal National College for the Blind in Hereford, where I was scouted to play blind football. And yeah, I've been encouraged to take up sport from a really young age, and I'm quite like grateful that I've been able to pick up. Well, I used to play four sports at the time. Last year I was playing goalball for Great Britain, blind football for England, rowing on the pathway for GB, and also swimming for Scotland. So I really had my hands in different sports. And just now I play blind football for England, and then I just row on the GB pathway. So I kind of cut down the sports and I'm focusing on the two. So yeah, I've been really grateful to obviously tried so many different sports, and with being told I wasn't allowed to take part in sport because of my visual impairment, I took that as like being able to bring awareness to sight loss, and sport is adaptable, and just because you have a visual impairment doesn't stop you from achieving your goals or being active. So I really took on that like awareness and role model role through the trauma that I've been through with bullying and that really hard time of my life. So I've just again made the most of what I have.
Yeah. Did you find that there were plenty of different like access pathways, not just necessarily for you, but for others in a similar situation? Did you find that the access pathways were like accessible in a sense?
No, I don't think so. So like for myself, like I'm a Scottish athlete, so I've born and bred in Scotland. All the sports I've had to do except rowing has been down in England. So I've had to travel. I still have to travel every single weekend to somewhere to an event. So you know, when I went to these taster days with Scottish Disability Sport, that's all great, and to have the opportunity on the day, but there's nothing local for anybody with a visual impairment to take part in that. And I noticed that a lot, like when I started playing blind football for England, I wanted to, find a club that I could just train with locally. So I'm still having that team environment when I'm off camp and just being able to train. And because of my visual impairment, they wouldn't take me on. So I still find that there is a barrier for inclusion in sport and awareness of, I can still be involved. I just have to play it slightly differently. So there is still lots of barriers that I've faced and I'm still trying to tackle. And yeah, it's a hard one. But yeah, we're hopefully going to try and break down those barriers.
Yeah, of course. So, for those of you who may not know what blind football is, would you mind just explaining a little bit about how it works, like the differences between that and sighted football and that type
Mhm.
of thing?
Yeah, no worries. So blind football is obviously for people who are blind, or partially sighted or visually impaired. The men's team is all B1. So our classification is put into our visual impairment is put into classifications. So we've got B1, B2, and B3. The B1 is just pretty much light perception, no useful vision at all. So the men's team, the blind men's team, is all B1, but for the women, because there's not enough B1s in the community, we have it to B1, B2, and B3. So our women's team is slightly different to the men's team. So we've got a lot of people that can see a lot more than like somebody like myself that can't see very much. So I think that brings a different dynamic to the squad. Like I really like the fact that anybody can, well, people with visual impairments can really get involved in blind football. So we have to wear blackout eye shades, and that's like for the men's and the women's. So it's completely blackout, but we also wear patches, which is like just like your eye patches that you would wear if you were, I don't know, getting your eyes tested or something. I think they like cover one eye or whatnot. So yeah, we wear eye patches when we play international tournaments. So that's something slightly different to, or not slightly different to mainstream football, very different to mainstream football. Our blind football is got metal plates in it. So it's got metal plates with little ball bearings. So again, really different to a mainstream football. It's a lot heavier. Obviously, when you're going to kick the ball, you're obviously kicking against metal plates. So it's a lot it's pretty sore. It is, until you get used to it, it's pretty sore. What else? So we play on a 3G pitch, which is pretty much really good actually. I like playing the 3G pitch, but we have white boards that go kind of down the pitch so that we can tackle on that. We can kick the ball and hear the echolocation. And another thing that we do, our 4 outfield players are all blind and have the eye shades on, but our goalkeepers are sighted. And behind the goals, because how do blind people find where the goal is or where to go, we have guides that will be behind the goal, and they will direct us into them to be able to tell us when to shoot. And there's lots of things that are quite different, but again, it all brings it down to it's still football. And it's I love football as much as anybody else in the mainstream world that likes football. So yeah, they are really different and it's adaptive, but it's a really cool game, and I would recommend anybody to give it a watch on YouTube or a listen. And it's quite good, but really high impact, and quite physical. If you watch the game, there's a lot of crash, bang, and wallop. So we also use like code words. So red on our team is when somebody in our team says red, we all say it so that we can make a picture in our head of like where everybody is on the pitch. And another word we have to use is boy if we're going for a tackle, and we have to say that, otherwise we can get into a lot of trouble. So we have to use that word just to keep the game being safe and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's just a little bit about it, and I could go into a lot more detail, but it would be here for a long time.
The England blind football team was launched in 2022 and you were named as captain. How did it feel knowing that you had the honour to not only represent England but also lead the team to the tournaments in such an underrepresented sport? So you've got the role of then sharing the awareness of it.
No, it was absolutely incredible. And I remember actually being in the changing room when I was told I was going to be captain, and I just like started crying. So it was a special moment. And yeah, I absolutely love representing England, and to have the badge of being captain is such an honour. It really is such an honour. And I mean, I'm just so grateful that I was being given that opportunity. And because obviously the women's blind football game is not up to par with the men's game. So just now we're trying to get Paralympic status to be in LA, where the men's team has already been in, the Paralympics. So there's a lot of fighting that we have to do to advocate for equality. And I use my social media platform to really kind of to bring awareness to not just visual impairments, but women's blind football. And hopefully we're on the road to LA. It's been obviously such an honour to represent England and to be named captain. And it doesn't change who I am. Like I wouldn't say that just because I wear the badge it makes me a different person. Like I'm just Sam Gough, and that's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I'm really grateful.
So back in April, you met with the sighted Lionesses at St George's Park. What was that like, and seeing or like speaking to them and seeing how the different experiences compare?
Yeah, no, meeting the Lionesses or the senior Lionesses was just incredible. But I think we have to remember that, just because we were invited to their training session doesn't make them any more kind of, for instance, like, myself being a para lioness, like I'm just have the right to be at St George's Park than with them. So like they're my teammates, they're a part of the England football teams, and it was amazing getting to meet them, and just getting to get to know them, and them really being interested in para football. And really I noticed when I was on their camp was they had such an urge and really wanting to learn about blind football and the different game, and they weren't scared to ask questions, which I just think is incredible for being the senior lioness, is really taking an interest in para football, adapted football, which is just really good. And I've been able to make some really good friendships from that meeting, or getting to meet them over the day. So I'm really happy that day went ahead, and I'm hoping that the rest of our squad will have the opportunity to meet them as well, because they have a right just as much as I did. So honestly, it was such an incredible day, and the social media coverage that was covered on that day as well was really good. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see that everybody is now, the world is adapting to let everybody be on an equal playing field, and to see that everybody
Yeah.
is together to want to learn and raise awareness of the adapted football.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the one thing, like what is the one main thing that you wish more people knew about blind football?
Um, One thing that I wish people knew about playing football, I think that it's a skillful game and it's not like a scary thing to watch. Like people think, oh, because it's blind and because it's adapted, we don't have to take an interest in that. But actually, if you watch the game, it is really skillful. It's really awesome. And you don't sit there in the crowd thinking, oh, I feel really sorry for those players. You actually sit there thinking, wow, I'm so inspired of how they can do that. And I challenge everybody to chuck on a blindfold and try blind football, because you have to use your other senses. It is honestly such an incredible game. And yeah, I'm just, so grateful, as I said, to be on the team. I do hope that there is going to be more awareness brought around blind football. I don't think there's enough coverage on it. I don't think there's enough people in the para community talking about it. I would love to see all my teammates really get on board with sharing it and really talking about it. And yeah, I know it's such an incredible sport that needs to be out there more. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your recent success with the Paramount as well. Can you
Thank you.
inform a little bit on that, and like what makes that sport special to you as well as the para football?
Yeah, so rowing, I started rowing pretty much to keep up fitness, and I have seen, that football and rowing, they're two completely different sports, but they actually complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Especially with the fitness side. And that's kind of why I had to decide to stop doing four sports but continue with two, because rowing is just so high impact, and you have to really focus on what you're doing. I love it. I really have loved it. I've loved it since I started. And I just love the fact that when I get in the boat, I have to like leave my cane at the side and it's just me rowing in a boat. I don't have to see, I have somebody telling me where to go and to steer the boat. I just feel really independent, and that's kind of like how it is in the blind football pitch as well. I feel really free and being able to run and feel safe and all that kind of stuff. But I went to Henley Women's Regatta and I won the Grosvenor Cup for the PRC single, which was obviously an amazing achievement in my first year of rowing. I also trialled for Paris to try and make the squad, which was in my first year of rowing. To be able to get that far is just incredible. I went to Scottish Championships, got bronze medal. I went to home internationals, represented Scotland, and got a gold in the 500-meter sprint. So honestly, I've done so much over the past year, not just with blind football, but with rowing, and it's been a journey, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, just watch this space.
Yeah.
There's lots to come. Honestly, lots to come, and I love sharing it on social media as well. Like I think being an athlete and doing one sport is just incredible, but doing two sports and juggling them both is hard, but I love it. And yeah, I hope that the role that I'm doing within society of bringing awareness can also show that you don't have to just do one sport. Like you can turn your hand to many sports. And yeah, I think my kind of journey has proven that you can do more than one sport at a high level. So yeah.
Do you find that the creation of TikTok and the global use of that at the minute is like accelerated the awareness around all para sports, but particularly blind football in like particular? Obviously, you've got your football platform of you've
Mhm.
got like 46,000 followers on there, which is incredible. But
Yeah.
do you find that that has helped accelerate the rate of like awareness?
Yeah, no, 100%. I actually think that the awareness of, the content that I'm putting out there is probably more so picked up on TikTok than it is on my Instagram. And I do see that, when I'm putting up videos of my football in particular, I get a lot of comments, like a lot of comments on just like not all good, but some of them quite nasty as well.
Yeah.
And some of them I have to like really have to make separate videos on, because awareness is just not there. People don't understand that, the game, and I totally understand that the awareness isn't out there for them to know about it, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But there's some comments it's kind of like, actually think about it a little bit. rather than just making your judgment. But I do find that TikTok is such a great platform to really get that quick awareness out there. And after a couple of videos of blind football and me running into a goal, that kind of just blow up the comment section of, oh my god, how can she even do that? And yeah, I think it's a good platform, but it also, you have to kind of watch what you post, especially on that platform, because yeah, you do get some people out there that you're like, watch those comments. But I just try and ignore them, and I answer the ones that have genuine questions and really want to know about the game. So yeah, I think if you're going to do social media, you've got to really be really firm on why you're posting, so that those comments don't get to you. Because it can be a brutal game.
Yeah, definitely. What can we expect next from you? Like personally, what like wise, sports wise, like what is next on the agenda for you?
I don't know, to be honest. I just kind of take each week as it comes. So we're hoping for blind football in particular. We've got the Women's Grand Prix in a destination that's not been confirmed yet. There is also the World Cup next year that is in India, I believe. So there's a couple of big majors coming up. Next year is quite with the big competitions for blind football. And as for rowing, I've got trials that I'll have to go through again to see where I am and what competitions I could go forward for. But yeah, no, this is kind of, we just had our break, and I was obviously in Paris watching the games, just taking a couple of weeks off. So just getting back to training, and yeah, I'm trying to be also like more consistent with content that I'm putting out. And yeah, I mean, like, I'd love to know what people want to see on my social media. Like, I'd love to know what kind of things that I could do. But I'd also like to work with like a lot of brands to again bring accessible awareness. And yeah, there's lots that I would love to get done in the next year, or not so much like the next year, just within my career. But LA is the goal for myself. So whoever's following me on my social media is on the road to the Paralympics in LA. So that is like the big main target.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and I'm excited for your journey. You should be too. And thank you for coming on and raising awareness.
No, thank you so much. Honestly, a really good opportunity. And yeah, thanks so much.